So Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns get a big win against Iowa State in a game that earlier this week we talked about as being a really big opportunity for Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns. A lot of people were probably overlooking Iowa State, but coming into this game, Iowa State had one of college football's top defenses, and I was interested to see how this young Texas offense would handle it coming off of a huge win today. We need to break down why this was such a good win for the Texas Longhorns and everything that happened in this game. Before we can, though, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised at how Texas got this win? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, I want to talk about what surprised me most, and it was Texas's rushing attack. One thing we talk about at length when we talk about Iowa State is the 3-3-5 defense they employ. And when we talk about the 3-3-5, nobody does it better than Iowa State. I'm not saying there aren't teams that do it as well, but Iowa State's employment of the 3-3-5 has been very impressive, so much so the other coaches have gone to try and learn about how Campbell runs it, the intricacies of it. So whenever you talk about the 3-3-5, inevitably you're giving up the opportunity for an offense to run at you, or at least in theory you are. Having said that, though, Iowa State is a top 15 defense against the run while using a heavy dose of the 3-3-5, which is very impressive. But that didn't stop Bijan Robinson from having a day. 135 yards on the ground, and he was a force in the passing game as well, really showing the versatility he brings to the table. He's one of college football's most electric players, and he is going to be playing and making a lot of money on Sundays here very soon. But he was such a big catalyst to this Texas offense, and it was really good to see the Texas offensive line be able to give him the opportunities. And even if they didn't, it's Bijan. He's like trying to tackle smoke. He has got so much wiggle, such an uncanny ability to put a foot in the ground and cut. He's going to be able to make something out of nothing. So whenever you look at this, if you're Texas and you're looking for areas where your team is showing signs of improvement, the offensive line is still growing, but you have to be encouraged at this performance today, especially in the run blocking category, because like I said, Iowa State is a legitimately good defense. And on top of that, you were able to give Quinn Ewers the time necessary. And Quinn Ewers had himself a day, 3 touchdowns, and he might not wow in the stat department, but whenever you watch this game, he makes those deep outside throws outside the numbers look absolutely effortless. I mean, it comes out of his hand so easy and gets on target right where it needs to be. It's really impressive watching due to his age. But this is a great learning experience if we're Quinn Ewers. You're going up against a defense that is really disciplined, that's really good, and that's running something you're not going to see every day. That is a great learning experience, and we saw him deliver in some huge plays, such as the 4th down where he hit Worthy on that beautiful whip route. What a great play call, but more importantly, what an excellent route by Xavier Worthy, continuing to prove that he's one of the biggest mismatches in college football. Now, if you happen to be an Iowa State fan and you're looking at this game, there's a lot you can take away from this as well. First and foremost, your defense didn't give anything to the Texas Longhorns. Though Bijan had himself a day, your defense was playing good football, and he had to earn everything he got. On top of that, we saw Iowa State's offense come alive today in a manner we just haven't seen before. Now, Texas's defense was able to bottle up the Iowa State rushing attack, so much so that Hunter Decker was actually Iowa State's most effective rusher. And if you're looking at areas where Texas's defense is improving, that's one area. Now, we talked about this. Texas's defense is a work in progress. They are nowhere near a complete product, but they are improving week by week. The one area Iowa State absolutely took it to them, though, was through the air, because Decker threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns to 1 interception, and Xavier Hutchinson proved that he's one of college football's bigger mismatches, and he's one of the bigger mismatches that really doesn't get a whole lot of press. 6'3", 200 pounds, and he is really tough to cover because of his catch radius, because of his ability to get open. He was an absolute force today. 10 receptions, 154 yards, just going to show how difficult it is to cover him. Iowa State leaned on him a lot, and you can't blame them for doing so. So it's understandable that a talent such as Xavier Hutchinson would take it to the Texas defense, especially a secondary that is trying to improve. But that is one area where Iowa State was really able to get their offensive game plan going. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that's addressed going forward. But like I said, you don't have to play Xavier Hutchinson again going forward. So that's going to be a great way to start addressing it. And sure, we can talk about the call at the end and was it a targeting and was it not a targeting. But the one thing I do know for sure is that this is a Texas team that looks like they're trying to grow week by week. And they absolutely have the offensive playmakers to do it. And if the defense continues to grow, this is going to be a really fun team to watch. You have an exciting young quarterback and one of college football's most dynamic players in Bijan Robinson. So there's no doubt this was a huge win for the Texas Longhorns. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.